Hello and welcome to Mask College of Business and Technology. This is Office Administration and Management Skills module. I invite you to walk this journey with me, hoping that you're going to understand one of or two concepts around Office Administration and Management. We are going to cover a number of topics here. The first one is Introduction to Office Administration and Management. Then we are going also to cover departments in an organization, and also we understand the concept that we are going to call the office, and also understand office personnel filing in an organization. We'll also look at office records, and last but not least, we'll look at a topic that we are going to call organization and methods, and finally we're going to look at the emerging trends in office administration and management. We have our general objectives there. By the end of the module, you're going to understand and learn a number of things, just like I highlighted in the topics. So you can be able to have an overview of those objectives even as we get into the details of the module. So at the introduction level, introduction to office administration and management, we have concepts that you're going to be defining. The word office management, we are going to say that to manage means the ability to be able to guide or control the affairs of an organization to achieve given aims or purpose. And then office management is the task of planning, coordinating, or motivating the efforts of others towards the specific objectives of the office. That is a definition by George R. Terry on what is management, office management. And then we have another definition by Mills and Standingford that says that office management is the art of guiding the personnel of the office in the use of materials, methods, machines, equipment appropriately to their environment in order to achieve its specific purpose. So in this particular module, we will be discussing the concepts of management. So then we narrow down to what is an office. That's why in our introductory statements here, we are looking at the management bit of the module. Now, elements of office management. For you to succeed in the management of the office, the following elements must be present. Number one is the personnel. A company should interview and select most qualified personnel. So without the personnel, we have nobody to manage. We do not have an office to manage. And then also the purpose. The office manager must be aware of policies, goals, and objectives of the company. This will enable them to make the rightful decision. So as an office manager, you also need to understand the goals of the office or the objectives that the office intends to achieve, and that is going to be crucial in moving the office or the organization forward. Then number three, another element is means, resources such as materials, methods, processes, systems, machines, equipment, technology aid the office employees to achieve organizational goals. So in an office, we also need resources. We need materials, be it stationery, be it finances. Those are also resources, and even the personnel that we mentioned in our point number one. And finally is the environment. This includes both the internal and external factors of the firm. So internal factors, we can talk about organizational policies, rules and regulations within the organization. They are going to determine how people conduct themselves in the office. And the external factors, we have a famous abbreviation we call PESTEL: the political factors, the environmental factors, the economical factors, the legal factors, the technological factors. All those have an effect towards the success or failure of the office. Then functions of management. So under management, we discuss the functions of management. And function of management number one is planning. And we say that it is described as a well-defined course of a future action. And we're also saying planning takes care of uncertainties of future economies, social, political, and environmental. The other one is it provides a future picture where proximate events are outlined with distinctiveness. Office operations are planned with reference to overall objectives of the business. So we have planning as one of the major functions. We actually say that all other functions of management are dependent on how we succeed as good planners. So the objectives of planning is to offset change and uncertainty, to provide focus and attention on objectives. The other one is to be able to gain economical operation. The other one is to facilitate control. Then you are also going to understand the benefits of planning. How do we benefit as an organization once we plan? So we get a direction, we are able to focus on attention on objectives, we are able to help in economical operations of the office, and the other one is that we are able to take care of growth of business operations. Then we have functions. Function number two is organizing, the creation of structure of duties and functions to achieve the objectives of the enterprise. It's the process of determining what activities are necessary for any purpose and arranging them in groups which may be assigned to individuals. So that's very important, the organizing function. Then we have the staffing function. This one is a major one because it involves recruitment, selection, compensating, training, promotion, and retirement of staff, and quite a number of other things that we do around staffing that we have not mentioned here. For example, human resource planning, and so many others. So all those, we call them they are done by managers under the staffing function point. Then we have directing. We are saying is the process of guiding and supervising their subordinates. It is concerned with giving specific directions to various activities in the office with a view to its proper functioning. And then we have the principles of directing, principle of technique, principle of communication. So as you direct, you need to communicate efficiently. The principle of command, we have the principle of harmony, and we have the principle of leadership. As you give directions, you also have to show leadership. You also need to adopt the leadership styles that can be able to suit the organization that you are leading, and that will lead to the success of the organization. And then of course communication is a very key aspect. So exchange of facts, ideas, opinions, or emotions by two or more persons. It forms the basis for understanding. Between various members of the organization. Then we are saying effective communication. So that one is communication makes things to be understood. So communication is key also. We have various principles that we observe in communication. We have the principle of clarity, the principle of attention, we have the principle of integrity, we have the principle of strategic use of informal organizations. Then another function is motivating as the last function of management. Then we have types of organizational structure and charts. So in every organization we have different structures. So we have the top level management, we have the middle level management, we have the lower level management. I would like you as an assignment to try and understand the roles or the functions that are conducted by managers in each of these levels. So find out those functions and incorporate them as part of extra studies that you are going to be doing for this module. Then importance of effective organization structure. Number one is it facilitates proper administration. So because of having a good organization structure, we avoid things to do with delays of communication, delays of coordination within the departments, and then of course activities may not fail if we have a proper structure. Then it helps organizations and diversification, delegation of authority and fixation of responsibility help control quality and quantity of output. The other one is organization structure as two complementary aspects. So form of the structure where we apply principles of the organization and functions to be performed. So we can adopt the structures, we can also adopt the functions. The structures are also able to tell us on the functions that are to be performed. Then we have what we call the principles of management. This one we also call them the 14 principles of Henry Fayol. So it is this man we call Henry Fayol who sat down and said for management to be able to succeed, they need to respect the following principles. Number one, division of work. That is simply sharing of responsibilities among employees, and we say that that one is done because no manager can be able to do all the tasks alone. Then we have authority. So authority was defined by Fayol as the right to give orders and the power to exact obedience. So authority is also a very important principle. So it should come in handy with the role that you are playing as a manager. Then we have the principle of discipline. We have the principle of unity of command, where we are saying workers should receive orders only from one manager. When you are receiving orders from more than one manager, there is a sense of confusion. There is a sense of not knowing who to report to, and so on and so forth. And then we have the unity of direction as another principle. We are saying if we respect this principle, then as an organization we need to be moving towards a common objective or a common goal. Then we have what we call subordination of interest to the general interest, and we are saying the interest of one person should take priority or should not take priority over the interest of the organization as a whole. So that particular principle is emphasizing that we need to put the interest of the organization first. Then we have the principle of remuneration, so fair payment of wages, ensuring that workers receive their pay on time. Then we have the principle of centralization, and also decentralization. And then we have what we call the scalar chain principle. We also have the principle of order. I invite you also to read wide and read other sources of this principle to be able to understand what it means. Then we have the principle of equity. Fayol was simply saying that all employees should be treated as equal as possible. Then the stability of tenure of personnel. This principle simply emphasized on the need to have, if possible, employees stay in an organization for quite some time. So this was advocating for reducing labor turnover. You know, of course, when people are coming in and out of an organization, there are challenges that the organization will face because number one, it is not stable. And then we have the principle of initiative. So we need to encourage our employees to bring in new ideas and new ways of doing things. And finally, we have what we call a spirit de corps, and we are saying management should encourage harmony and general good feelings among employees. And then allegiance and sense of belonging are also essential for good performance. So that is it on that particular topic, the introduction topic. I encourage you, because management is wide, that you continue to read other avenues and other areas of management, so that you can be able to understand these concepts and their importance to office administration and management.